We're back at Donald Field at Bison Stadium for the men's half of tonight's PAC doubleheader between the Franciscan Barons and your Bethany Bison, live on the PAC Digital Network. Drew Von Sayo here with you once again as we get set for a rematch of the 2021 PAC Championship game, this time here in Bethany, West Virginia. Franciscan entering tonight with a record of 6-2-2, including 1-1 in conference play. The Barons are fresh off of a 4-3 win against Teal Tuesday night, in which they responded well after being beaten 6-0 by Grove City last Saturday. Second-year head coach Brent Ridenour looks for back-to-back PAC wins here tonight. As for Bethany, they enter with a record of 5-3-2 and a 1-0-1 record in PAC play. The Green and White are fresh off of a 2-1 win Tuesday at Geneva, who dropped their final non-conference game affair at home against Mount Union last Saturday. So the Bison, just like Franciscan, responding well after suffering a loss in the weekend. Fourth-year head coach Frankie Tall looking to defeat Franciscan for the first time in a regular season contest, leading his alma mater. Our goalkeeper matchup tonight for Franciscan, Jax Matone, making his 11th start of the season, a .746 save percentage, and a .166 goals against average for the grad student out of Kingston, New York. As for the Bison, none other than Addis Salahovic making his 8th start of the season. Salahovic, a Dallas, Texas native, a .775 save percentage, and a .129 goals against average. We continue to have fans pouring in here to Bison Stadium, both for Bethany and Franciscan. Everybody on both campuses well aware of the importance of tonight's match. Our referee crew tonight, Sam Reynolds is our center referee, Andy Mannion on the near side, John Groff on the far side. Rather, it appears John Groff is on the near side, Andy Mannion over on the far side. They decided to flip-flop on me there last minute. And it'll be Bethany with the opening kickoff. Bison sporting their all whites, green numbers and lettering across the chest and the back. Franciscan in their road greens with gold letters and numbers. We're underway here at Donald Field. Franciscan quickly trying to create an attack. It's Jonathan Schreiner quickly wins a corner for Franciscan just 18 seconds into the first half. Chance for Franciscan to possibly tack on an early leader, at the very least create a dangerous chance towards goal. Of course, both sides are going to be feeding off of the energy from the women's game, which ended 2-2. Corner kick driven in, deflecting off of the head of Cross. And the Bison look to clear. Gianchetti with a touch, and then it sailed over the crossbar and out for a goal kick. The Bison able to clear their lines. Goal kick taken by Salahovic, brought down by Jazino Agaro, one of several members of the Bison squad from the country of Antigua. Nacho Cafarata getting ahead to it. Aro Kane working against Augustine Rubino. He had his older sisters playing in the women's game a short time ago. Jaziba James switching the field of play to the near side. Salvador Isler trying to keep it inside the end line, deflecting off of Franciscan out for a Bison throw. Isler will leave it for Gregorio Lopez Ogawa. Gawa looking for an option now on the throw, finding Lucas Puebla. Just runs out of room and out for Franciscan goal kick. Salahovic very vocal through the first 2 minutes and change of the first half, and Franciscan going to take the goal kick rather quickly, finding the feet of Josh Atkinson. Brilliant through ball on the near side, kept in play by Schreiner, and then a late whistle from Sam Reynolds, stopping play despite some appeals from the Bison bench. Long throw forward from Lopez Ogawa. Araucane finding Lopez Ogawa once again. Of course, Franciscan certainly looking for a statement to be made after dropping the PAC championship last year at their home field, Trinity Health System Field in Steubenville. Losing that game 3-1 was Modu Fai, who tacked on a pair of goals along with Valentin Orsino on the bench tonight for the Bison, along with Joseph Fioramonti scoring for Franciscan. Nick Miller tacking on an assist in that game. Of course, Bethany mentioned looking for a very similar result as these two teams establish themselves towards the top of the PAC standings. Chris St. George winning a throw on the near side. Franciscan quickly coughing up possession. Lopez Ogawa trying to find Puebla, who's passed to Gianchetti, just a bit too strong. Ryan Miller showing a little bit of skill in the midfield. And now Jonathan Schreiner through ball towards the far side. Jaziba James just going to see that one out for a goal kick. And this time it's Bethany once again eliminating any sort of danger there on that chance. Salahovic originally wanting to take the goal kick short, but then opting to urge his squad forward and play it long. Coach Tall providing a lot of instructions on the Bison bench. Quiet to this point for Coach Ridenour of the Barons. Cafferata trying to find Gianchetti. Getting a step in there was Ryan Miller, and now Franciscan quickly looking to move into the attacking third. Brilliant combination play there, and a little bit of a bodily skill move there from Sebastian Araucane. Colby Rice looking to switch the field of play. Atkinson in possession once again, having his pass deflecting off of Puebla. Fausto Gianchetti finding the feet of Isler. Looking to play it forward to Ogaro, cleared away by Chris St. George. Lopez Ogawa feeding it a bit too far inside there. Not on the same page with Ogaro. It'll go back to Colby Rice, and now Franciscan looking to build out of the back as Matone deals with some pressure from Lucas Puebla. Sylvanus Fode over on the far side trying to walk the tightrope of the far touchline. Quickly playing that one forward to the feet of Schreiner. Schreiner being kept out wide by Nacho Cafferata. Frustration settling in for Franciscan as didn't necessarily get a call that they would have wanted in terms of a free kick. Puebla utilizing his ability to hold up the ball very well. Isler now on the near side, feeding it into Gianchetti. Lopez Ogawa with the overlapping run. His cross towards the back post, sailing over the bar and out for a goal kick. Just under 7 minutes gone here in the first half. Lucas Puebla, the leading goal scorer for the Bison to this point in the season, with 4 goals. Jazino Ogaro right behind him with 3. And then a large handful of Bison with 1 each, as the Barons unable to keep it in play over on the far side. James able to drop the ball back to Sheldon Christian. Tries to find Fode. And now Franciscan quickly looking to counter once again, deflecting off of Augustine Rubino. And now it's Nick Cross trying to weave his way around Sheldon Christian. Cross still in possession, slotting it back to Chris St. George, feeding it inside. Aro Kane with a touch. And now Bethany looking to drive forward, plenty of space. Fode finding the feet of Ogaro. Has it knocked away there. Right back into the feet of the Bison. It was Atkinson who had gotten the touch there for Franciscan. Lopez Ogawa trying to feed it inside, but Ryan Miller, sophomore out of Galena, Ohio, right there to read it well. Deep cross in towards the penalty area. Salahovic confidently going up and bringing that one in. Eliminating any sort of threat there for Franciscan to tack on an early goal. Franciscan in possession once again. Schreiner trying to find the feet of Cross. A little bit of contact there against Lopez Ogawa. We play on for the time being. Ogaro trying to feed it out wide to Isler. Just runs out of room as the pass a bit too strong. Chris St. George looking for an option. Feeding it inside to Colby Rice. Schreiner again. Aro Kane working to feed it around Rubino. Long through ball forward from Jazino Ogaro. And it's Jaziba James on the receiving end, trying to dance his way towards the corner flag, deflecting out for a Bison throw. James taking it quickly. Puebla getting a touch, but sent to Schreiner once again, contesting with Nacho Cafferata. Schreiner with a little bit of a touch there before it deflected out of play on the far side. Ziba James simply just taking his time before getting play restarted. Trying to find Puebla. A little bit of a high kick there on Puebla, but no whistle from referee Sam Reynolds. Driving forward into the space is Chris St. George, finding the feet of Schreiner. Rather, that was Augustine Rubino. Rubino again trying to slot it back towards the penalty spot. Isler able to finally clear it away. Gianchetti flicking it on to Savanis Fode. Aro Kane trying to go between Mikey Irvin and Augustine Rubino. Schreiner again firing towards goal. Salahovic swallowing that one in the breadbasket, making a routine save. A chance now for Bethany to play their way out of the back. Aro Kane trying to launch that one as far as he can, but it falls right to the feet of Franciscan. Chris St. George getting his way around Ogaro, and now Ogaro bringing down Chris St. George, but free kick goes in favor of the Bison as Jazino Ogaro getting away with one there a little bit, as he appeared to be the aggressor. Lopez Ogawa choosing to play it short to get play back underway. Joseph St. George getting a touch on it there for Franciscan. Joseph, the younger brother of Chris. And now again, Franciscan looking to play out of the back. A risky situation there for Jax Matone. Pass just beyond the outstretched foot of Lucas Puebla. And the Bison win a throw in front of their own bench. Lopez Ogawa launching it forward off the throw. Getting a touch on it there was Rice. Hurricane dealing with some pressure in the back from Rubino. Flicks it to Schreiner. Schreiner threw ball forward, finding Cross, slotting it back inside. Cross was brought down. Sam Reynolds not pointing to the spot. Jaziba James finding the feet of Fode. Fode on the far side. Back to James, stripped of possession. And now James quickly needing to recover. It's a member of the Bison back line. Brilliant step there from Lopez Ogawa. Contact again on Chris St. George. Puebla finds Lopez Ogawa, cross towards the back post. Well beyond everybody. Lucas Puebla, first one to it. Gianchetti finding Jaziba James. James still in possession on the far side, then ultimately being pickpocketed. Schreiner trying to get around Cafarata, winning a throw. The Bison went 4-3-1 in non-conference play, that is, this season. Much improved from a year ago, despite being without two key members of last year's squad. Isler whips it across towards the top of the box. Puebla's head gets on the receiving end, and it falls comfortably into the hands of Jax Matone. Of course, the Bison, even with an improved record, facing off against much tougher competition, including the now ranked number 8 in Division III soccer, Carnegie Mellon. Schreiner feeding that one inside to Rubino. Cross trying to go back inside centrally. Schreiner able to gather it in. And again, Jazino Ogaro. A little bit of contact there in on Schreiner. And Sam Reynolds ruling that Ogaro made enough contact with the ball to not award a free kick. And again, Schreiner on the receiving end of a large amount of contact, that time from Salvador Isler. Nick Miller plays the ball out of the back. A grad student out of Galena, Ohio. Older brother of Ryan, so two pairs of brothers in the squad here for Franciscan. Gianchetti switching the field of play to find Lopez Ogawa. Isler's pass deflected there by Chris St. George. Lopez Ogawa keeping it in play. Hurricane getting a foot there on the feed from Rubino. Gianchetti contesting with Rubino that time, and Franciscan maintains possession. Ryan Miller able to find Joseph St. George on the far side. Nick Miller under a large amount of pressure. And Matone able to clear that one away. Gianchetti combining with Isler. And now Isler guilty of a foul in the Franciscan defensive third. Franciscan with the first free kick of the contest, just under 17 minutes in. Choosing to play out of the back. Nick Miller in possession again. Brilliant ball forward, deflecting off of the head of Lopez Ogawa. Sheldon Christian keeping that one from crossing the end line, rather dealing with the throw as opposed to a corner kick. It'll be Chris St. George delivering the long throw into the box. Lopez Ogawa able to strip possession and gift it right back to the Bison. Fode looking for an option, waiting a bit too long to find Isler. Lopez Ogawa able to recover, and now Ogaro's feed right into the feet of Ryan Miller. Gianchetti finding Zeno Ogaro pushing forward, looking to switch the point of attack, deflecting off of Joseph St. George out for a Bison throw. James finding Puebla, turning brilliantly around Joseph St. George. That one cleared away by Atkinson. Christian with some slight pressure with his back to goal, so he opts to drop that one all the way back to Salahovic. Certainly more than comfortable with playing the ball out of his feet. Sometimes a bit too comfortable for the liking of the Bison coaching staff, but able to make the plays when necessary. Puebla laying it off to Fode. Right back to Puebla. Isler trying to get a touch. Chris St. George clearing that one away. Cafarata able to win a throw on the far side for the Bison. Of course, the last time these two teams met in the regular season, it was Franciscan who came out on top right here at Don Alt Field, winning that contest 4-2. That was certainly a motivation tactic that the Bison coaches used when it came time for the PAC championship, as Ogaro keeps it in play and his cross sent well over the far post and out for a goal kick. Mentioned that Brent Riddenauer's in his second season in charge of Franciscan, had a historic first year. Bethany back in possession again. Isler driving inside, deflecting with a shot off of Nick Miller. Out for a Bethany corner, their first of the night. Coach Riddenauer with the historic inaugural year, earning the 2 seed in terms of regular season play last year. Able to put his squad in a position to host the PAC championship. Gianchetti getting set to deliver the corner kick, whipping it in towards the back post. Christian with the head on it, back right where it came from. Fode finding Puebla. Gianchetti strike wide of the post and out for a goal kick. The Bison starting to pick up their intensity in terms of finding ways to create chances. And now Franciscan able to play their way through some pressure from the Bison. R.O. Kane dealing with a little bit of pressure there from Colby Rice. Slight jersey pull, but nothing to see themselves win a free kick. Mikey Irvin now in possession, laying it off to Joseph St. George. Rubino trying to win something. Cafarata with the deflection, keeping it in play, launching it forward. Franciscan now still in possession. Left-footed strike blocked there by Christian. Lopez Ogawa getting ahead to it, seeing it out for a Franciscan throw. It'll be another long throw in from Chris St. George, who utilizes the track around the field to his advantage, whipping this one in towards the near post. And Ada Salahovic will say thank you very much and claim that one without any sort of pressure. Lopez Ogawa finding Gianchetti. His pass is deflected out of play right at midfield for a Bison throw. Lucas Cross set to check in for Franciscan, so that'll be the third pair of brothers that Franciscan has on the roster, potentially having all three of them on the field at the same time. Fode looking to keep possession. Arocane switching it over to James. Just beyond the halfway point here in the first half. Bison still in possession. Jaziba James driving into the midfield. Plenty of space for him to move, finding Lopez Ogawa. Shot from range, deflecting on its way, and kept in play by Nick Miller, seeing it go out for a throw rather than a corner. Throw in from Lopez Ogawa, finding Puebla. Nick Miller, another touch out for Bethany's second corner of the night. Lucas Cross still awaits the opportunity to make his way into the game. A large crowd here tonight. Of course, both teams and their fan bases well aware of what's at stake. Corner kick there, only cleared as far as Lopez Ogawa sends it back in, trying to find Cafarata. Puebla got a touch. Cafarata slotting it back to Gianchetti. Ogaro's effort wide of the post and out for a goal kick, which will now allow Lucas Cross to check in. He will check into the game for his older brother, Nick. Speaking of Nick Miller launching that one forward for Franciscan after he received it short on the goal kick from Matone. Joseph St. George under a little bit of pressure there, having it stripped away by Lucas Puebla. Gianchetti finding Lopez Ogawa. Ogaro cross in towards the back post, deflecting there off of Joseph St. George. The Bison with corner kick number 3, coming up just over 20 minutes to play here in the first half. Will be Gianchetti delivering once again for the Bison. Main set piece specialist for green and white as the ball falls to Ogaro. Goal line clearance as Matone was well away from goal, went out for a punch, ended up missing the ball entirely. Jazino Ogaro's effort able to be kept off the line by a pair of Barons. And now some appeals from the Franciscan supporters trying to get a foul against Lucas Puebla. Irvin found the feet of Schreiner, not before Cafarata was able to launch it forward to Puebla. Brilliantly switches the ball to the near side, finding Jazino Ogaro, who can deliver a cross at will. Ogaro's left-footed cross in towards the near post, and Matone getting there a step in front of Lucas Puebla. Franciscan set to make another substitution. It'll be Isaac Doyle, the senior out of Silverton, Oregon, who gets set to check in. Lopez Ogawa not taking any chances there, and Sylvanus Fode guilty of a high foot. And now Sam Reynolds going to stop play. Have a brief discussion here on the near side with assistant referee John Groff, possibly discussing whether or not to award Fode with a card. And now rather Sam Reynolds just choosing to verbally warn Sylvanus Fode. Franciscan getting back underway. Colby Rice getting stuck in there with R.O. Kane, Chris St. George. Cafferata with the clearance, deflecting off of Ryan Miller. And Bethany set to make their first substitution. It'll be Nathan Greaves checking in for Salvador Isler. Isaac Doyle in for Chris St. George. So Lopez Ogawa getting play restarted. Both teams now starting to go into their bench a little bit, seeing how the game progresses. R.O. Kane guilty of a foul in the midfield third. Slight tug of the arm there. Lucas Cross able to draw said foul. Doyle getting his first touches, finding the feet of Colby Rice. Schreiner trying to drive inside. Lopez Ogawa with the touch. It carries out for Franciscan's corner. Be Nick Miller set to deliver for Franciscan. Miller's delivery low to the near post. Cleared away by Jaziba James. Doing just enough there to escape danger for Bethany, at least for the time being. Isaac Doyle now set to take the throw. Doyle trying to find Schreiner, but Lopez Ogawa getting a step in there. And now Franciscan with yet another long throw taker. Doyle this time, not necessarily as large of a run-up as what Chris St. George has, but still a quite long run-up. Pinball continues to bounce around the penalty area. Lucas Cross able to win corner for Franciscan, deflecting off of Nacho Cafferata. Bison dealing with a little bit of trouble there, able to clear their lines. Nick Miller getting set to take the corner kick once again. A little word there from Sam Reynolds in regards to the aggression on the mark. Salahovic getting a fist to it. Gianchetti just launching that one forward. Bethany set to make another substitution when they can. That'll be Jack Sella checking in for the Bison as Atkinson confidently heads that one back into the hands of Matone. Still no score here at Don Outfield. 15 minutes to go in the first half. Franciscan looking to strike again, firing towards goal. Into the hands of Salahovic at the near post. Making sure that one did not make its way over the line. Salahovic quickly distributing to Sheldon Christian. Pass towards Lucas Puebla, not quite strong enough. Arcane, long ball over the top. Both sides having a few substitutes, continuing to loosen, getting ready for when their respective coach may call their name. Lucas Puebla cross towards the back post off the head of Greaves, falling to Fode. Fode, a lot of contact in the penalty area. Nothing in terms of a foul, and now players getting tripped up left and right. And finally it's Lopez Ogawa who wins the free kick, much to the frustration of the Franciscan bench and traveling fans. Gianchetti going back to Cafferata. Cafferata's pass trying to find Lopez Ogawa deflected out of play by Lucas Cross, so that will allow Jack Sella to check in favor of Lucas Puebla. I mentioned earlier that the Bison have a handful of players, a large handful at that, of players with 1 goal so far this season. Jack Sella is one of that large handful. Chance now for the Bison to have some fresh legs up top. Trying to make things a little bit more difficult for the Barons back line. Gianchetti, ball over the top. Ogaro bringing it down. Cross in towards the penalty spot. Falling to the feet of Sella. Getting a touch but not able to control Gianchetti. Volley well wide and out for a goal kick. Both teams continue to create chances. Neither of them able to hit the back of the net. Of course, we knew this was going to be quite the entertaining 90 minutes. The stakes high for both teams. A rematch of last year's conference championship. Augustine Rubino, a little bit of a touch there, and Cafferata clearing it away from danger as Schreiner was in on goal looking to break the deadlock. And now a chance for Isaac Doyle to launch this one into the penalty area from his long throw. Just as I say that, opting to take the short option instead. Zeno Agaro reading it like a book, driving forward. Large amount of contact there between Ogaro and Atkinson. And it'll be Atkinson shown the yellow card with 11:48 to go in the first half. Stopping a promising attack there on Jazino Ogaro. Arocane trying to take it a little bit too quickly there, but also the second ball coming onto the field of play not helping matters. Gianchetti unnecessarily giving the ball away there to Lucas Cross. And now Franciscan in possession once again through Joseph St. George. Nick Miller switching the play to find the feet of Doyle. His right-footed pass carries out a play for a Bison throw. Coach Riddenauer getting set to bring in another substitute. It'll be Zachary Muldoon, freshman out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Franciscan again working the ball brilliantly around the back, just as we saw in the women's game. Both teams taking pride in their ability to work the ball around the back. Appeals for handball there from Franciscan on Lopez Ogawa, but we play on. Ogaro, a little bit of contact there in the back of Cross. Lucas Cross playing it forward, finding the feet of Augustine Rubino. Cross in towards the penalty area. Cafferata able to clear it away. And the Bison bench breathes a sigh of relief yet again. Joseph St. George with a touch there, making life difficult for Jaziba James. And St. George able to win a throw on the far side. And now Sam Reynolds stopping play to allow Zachary Muldoon to check into the game. We'll wait to see who he enters in favor of. It'll be Mikey Irvin checking out of the game. Of course, Mikey Irvin, very local to Franciscan University, a native of Steubenville, Ohio, as the ball's well over the crossbar and out for a goal kick. Now the Bison back in possession as James tried to feed it forward to Gianchetti, and Franciscan thought they had something going in terms of a counterattack. Rubino playing it towards the back post. Cafferata trying to get a touch on it, and after a few ricochets, falls into the hands of Salahovic. Lopez Ogawa able to find the feet of Sella, who gets it right back. Gianchetti just choosing to play it simple, finding the feet of Ogaro, switches it to the far side. Greaves with a little bit of touch there around Joseph St. George. Greaves slotting it back, trying to find James, and Nick Miller clears his line for Franciscan. Lucas Cross had a bit of a touch there. Coach Tall very much frustrated on the near sideline. Sam Reynolds quickly running in to have a quick word with Franciscan. One thing about Coach Tall is that he does not like when his team gives the ball away unnecessarily. Of course, it's been happening quite a few times here tonight from both sides. Ogaro unable to get his pass to go where he had it planned. Arnold Fontes Candida set the check-in for the Bison. Muldoon trying to feed it inside, and Muldoon wins a free kick inside the attacking third. Strong chance here for Franciscan. Just under 7.5 minutes to play. Nick Miller, the set piece specialist.
Let's go, Green! Come on, boys!
Miller's in-swing delivery. Hurricane getting ahead to it, and Gianchetti just going to send that one as far away as possible. Franciscan looking to build up once again. Miller on the near side. Long through ball forward. Rubino contesting against Sheldon Christian, who just sees that one out for a goal kick, which will allow Arnold Fontes Candida to check into the game in favor of Sylvanus Fode. We also see Pablo Aguilera check in favor of Fausto Gianchetti. Bison opting to make a second sub late there. Just before play resumed, Greaves finding the feet of Aro Kane. Through ball forward, trying to find Aguilera fresh off the bench. Agaro slotting it to the far side to find Jaziba James. Under 6 to play now in the first half. Aro Kane trying to find Agaro, leaves it for Fontes Candida. Keeping it down in the corner, Lopez Ogawa in possession, and Lopez Ogawa winning a free kick, as it was Muldoon who conceded the foul. Certainly continues to frustrate the traveling Franciscan supporters. Ogaro now with the chance to deliver a set piece. Ogaro whipping it in towards the penalty area, off the head of Cafarata. Trailing towards the corner flag. Fontes Candida able to win a throw for the Bison. Bethany keeping it within the attacking third, and will do so once again. Just a little bit further up the field, so some breathing room for Franciscan. And now Fontes Candida guilty of a foul. Pulling back Joseph St. George.
Come on, Green! Come on, boys!
Nick Miller pushing his squad forward just before the free kick. Little pinball action once again as Aguilera goes up for it. Aro Kane still in possession. Aro Kane trying to plead his case for a foul. And instead, Colby Rice in possession, playing it forward to the feet of Schreiner. Tries to weave his way around Cafferata. Runs out of room for a goal kick in favor of Bethany. A lot of talented teams here this season in the President's Athletic Conference. Of course, both teams in action here tonight, certainly fitting that criteria. Grove City in the conversation as well. Westminster, and then a few underdogs, if you will, in terms of making the tournament, such as Geneva, W&J, Allegheny giving the Bison a little bit of a fight in what was a 2-2 slugfest down on Hogue Field. The Bison almost having as many cards as they had men on the field. The clock continues to wind down, approaching the 2:30 mark remaining. Aro Kane sending the free kick from Miller over the crossbar. Just taking it one play at a time, but now a chance for Nick Miller to send in another corner kick. Nick Miller tied for first along with Jonathan Schreiner in terms of assists with 4 so far this season, as the effort there from Rubino smacks off the hands of Salahovic. And now Ogaro guilty of a foul on a free kick just outside the penalty area. And Jazino Ogaro shown a card. It was Augustine Rubino who took quite the contact there. And now a chance for Nick Miller, 19 yards out from goal, to put this one on frame. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Certainly an unnecessary foul for the Bison to concede. Salahovic continuing to set the wall. Apparently a little bit of encroachment from the Bison wall. As far as trying to take a few steps forward. Miller now able to deliver, firing towards the far post, and Salahovic unable to see the ball through the screen. Nick Miller strikes for Franciscan. A minute 55 remaining in the first half. The Barons with an early 1-goal lead. That is Nick Miller's 4th goal of the season, and it comes at an all-important time here in a rematch of the 2021 championship game. Can only imagine that being a huge part of the conversation at halftime for the Bison coaching staff. We get a little bit of clarification. It was actually Jack Sella who picked up the yellow card on the foul there against Augustine Rubino. Sella goes up for the header there for the Bison. So now, just like we saw in the women's game, Bethany trailing as we approach the halftime break. Aro Kane guilty of a foul there in the midfield. And now Nick Miller simply just going to take his time in terms of retrieving the ball, setting up the free kick. And now delivering one in towards the top of the penalty area. And Sam Reynolds quickly stopping play as a result of a foul there. Possible push of the arm against Lucas Cross. Approach the 40-second mark remaining in the first half. Salahovic urging his team forward. Salahovic's free kick flicked on by Fontes Candida. Nick Miller getting a touch there. And now Franciscan looking to avoid any sort of late pressure here from the Bison. Greaves in possession on the far side. Still contesting for it is Greaves, and now large amount of contact there for Greaves, and Schreiner quickly wins a free kick, taken brilliantly as the clock continues to wind down, and Caffarata doing just enough to delay Franciscan for potentially tacking on a second goal just before the halftime break. 45 minutes in the books, 45 to go here at Donnell Field. The Bison trailing the Barons by a score of 1-0, courtesy of a 44th minute free kick goal off the right foot of Nick Miller. We'll step aside here on the PAC Digital Network, and when we return, coverage of the second half and PAC men's soccer action. We're back here for coverage of the second half. PAC men's soccer between the visiting Franciscan Barons and your Bethany Bison. Taking a look at some halftime stats. The Bison out in front of the Barons in terms of total shots, 8-4, but it's Franciscan with the edge, 3-2 in terms of shots on goal. Both Ada Salahovic and Jax Matone with a pair of saves. Franciscan with the slight edge in terms of corner kicks, 4-3. And then Bethany with 8 fouls compared to 5 for Franciscan. So the category that the Bison don't necessarily want to be out in front in, and they are. Of course, Bethany, every time they take the field, more often than not, usually lead in terms of the number of fouls they have. A very physical team here at Bethany. Certainly at times a little bit too physical. Franciscan will have the opening kickoff to start the second half. Schreiner gets us back underway. Miller launching it long, finding Irvin. Rubino going right back to Irvin. Nathan Greaves still in the game for the Bison, came on as a first half substitute. Agaro, once again, a lot of contact in there on Jonathan Schreiner. James deflecting it out on the near side for Franciscan throw. Both teams looking for more goals here as the second half progresses. A rather quiet first half right up until the very end when Nick Miller had his 44th minute free kick find the back of the net. As the deflection there off of Fausto Gianchetti falls into the hands of Salahovic. Greaves able to switch the field of play and find Cafferata. Agaro right back to Cafferata. Agaro turning around Ryan Miller. James looking for an option here, drawing a lot of contact, and Jaziba James able to win a free kick just inside the attacking third. Of course, this has been a little bit of the story of the season for the Bison in terms of the way they've played each of their games thus far. Usually one half they perform much better than the other half. A little bit of a sluggish first half for the home side. Gianchetti's free kick falling to Fode, unable to get anything towards goal, and now Gianchetti flicking it in towards the back post. Appeals from the Bison bench for a penalty kick as Cafferata went up on Jax Matone. Matone able to win the free kick as Sam Reynolds doing his part to protect the goalkeeper. Not exactly sure what the Bison bench was using as their case there, as it was Cafferata who sent Matone to the ground. 99 times out of 100, that call is going in favor of the goalkeeper. Aro Kane finding Fode, flicked it up, then brought it back down himself. Fode trying to dance his way around Nick Miller. Agaro crossed into the penalty area, finding Puebla, back to Fode, Matone with a kick save. And now the Bison guilty of a foul in the attacking penalty area. Gianchetti, the guilty party. The Bison student section starting to make their impact. Of course, a lot of it is the Argentinians on the soccer team that didn't make the list in terms of being in uniform tonight, showing their support one way or another. Irvin through ball, finding the feet of Joseph St. George. Cross inside, deflecting off of Cafferata. And out for corner kick for Franciscan, their 5th of the night. A lot of instructions coming from the Bison bench. So Ryan Miller playing it short to his brother Nick, slotting it back into the top of the penalty area, trying to find the feet of Joseph St. George, but it's well over the crossbar and out for a goal kick. Salahovic now pushing his squad forward. Header won there by Ryan Miller, guilty of a foul. Clear extension there. 2 hands in the back of Gianchetti. Cafferata trying to find Greaves. Greaves on a second chance, able to gain possession and then quickly losing it in favor of Ryan Miller. Gianchetti to Lopez Ogawa. Now Greaves once again. Bison starting to string together a little bit of possession here. Greaves trying to drive his way inside, winning a throw on the far touchline in the process. 5.5 minutes gone here in the second half. And again, Bethany with a deep throw on the far side. Franciscan quickly looking to counterattack, but instead Gianchetti delivers one towards the back post. Ogaro, the first one there for either side. Ogaro trying to send in a cross of his own, deflecting up high in the air, brought down by James. It was Mikey Irvin who got that deflection, and then ending up clearing it far away as possible. Cafferata finding the chest of Puebla. Jeziba James driving inside and sails that one over the bar, out for a goal kick. So another chance there for the Bison that they saw go by the wayside. Matone again playing it short in terms of the goal kick. Very confident here as Franciscan driving in on goal. A shot over the crossbar and out for a goal kick. That was Augustine Rubino, who was through on goal. Thought he had caught Salahovic off his line, and again just got too much on it. The Bison bench absolutely furious as a result of how that sequence transpired. Gianchetti stripping it away there from Rubino. Lopez Ogawa feeding it inside to Arocane. Gianchetti again trying to find Greaves. Greaves having it stripped away on the far side by Cross. And now Franciscan again driving in towards goal. Christian getting a slight touch on it there for the Bison. Joseph St. George in possession on the near side, trying to cut his way in more centrally. Jeziba James getting a touch. And now, again, another foul behind the play. Sheldon Christian trying to talk things over with Sam Reynolds, who now has conversation with Sebastian Arocane, the guilty party there for the Bison. Doesn't appear as if Arocane will be shown a card, but it's 2 home games in a row now in which the Bison have had a foul behind the play provide their opposition with a key free kick chance. Once against Allegheny, and now this one here against Franciscan. Talked earlier about the large amount of unnecessary fouls. Certainly falls in the category as Miller's free kick is fired towards goal, and Salahovic with a strong right hand pushes that one away and out for yet another Franciscan corner. Salahovic reading it well, perfectly in line with the free kick that time, saw it all the way, denying Nick Miller of his second goal of the game. Miller's free kick towards the back post, scramble for it. Lopez Ogawa getting a touch to clear it away, at least outside the penalty area. Fode holding it up for Aro Kane, and now Ogaro driving forward. Puebla brilliantly switching the ball, but just beyond the reach of Nathan Greaves. Cleared away slightly by Atkinson. Aro Kane, a little bit of contact there as Lopez Ogawa drives forward. Lopez Ogawa still in possession, deflecting off of the Argentinian last and out for a goal kick. "55 minutes gone, 35 to go here in the second half of this PAC men's and women's soccer doubleheader at Don Holt Field. Certainly a lot of time left to play for both sides to either cement their mark in this one, in the case of Franciscan, or for Bethany, create their own mark. Franciscan gets set for a throw on the far side. It was Chris St. George feeding that one inside to Colby Rice. In the blink of an eye, Franciscan switching the field of play as Joseph St. George causing Ogaro to hit the turf. Through the quick passing there of Ryan Miller, once again Franciscan switching the point of attack. Throw from St. George, flicked on to Schreiner by Cross. Christian just going to see that one out for a Bethany throw. Gianchetti, the first one there. Christian launching that one forward, able to find the feet of Lucas Puebla. Puebla trying to hold the ball up now against Joshua Atkinson. Fode trying to flick that one on to the feet of Gianchetti. And now it's Franciscan who quickly moves the ball up the field, but not before Lopez Ogawa gets it right back. Ogaro, brilliant through ball forward to Nathan Greaves. And Greaves runs out of room, but deflecting it off of Chris St. George in the process. A little bit of an interesting setup the Bison have. Nathan Greaves primarily a forward, but getting his opportunities past few days in practice to play in the midfield diamond, and doing so here again tonight. Throw in from Lopez Ogawa, sent away by the Barons, and Lopez Ogawa getting set to do it all over again, finding Greaves this time, trying to switch the ball on the ground to Ogaro. And now Franciscan, plenty of space to drive forward as Ryan Miller looked to play that one to the feet of Schreiner. And now Nathan Greaves ripping away possession from the Barons, getting it right back from Fausto Gianchetti. Cross in towards the penalty area. Puebla trying to get a touch. Ogaro on the back door, can't tap it home. Caffarata now going all the way back to his goalkeeper, Salahovic. Gets it right back. Does Caffarata. James contesting fiercely with Mikey Irvin. And now the Bison showing their brilliance as Greaves plays that one forward to the feet of Gianchetti. And now shouts of handball from the Bison bench. Lopez Ogawa quickly taking the throw. Greaves stripped away there. Arocane back in possession. Cafferata drives his way forward. Gianchetti finding Puebla. Continues to hold the ball up well. Shot out to Greaves, firing towards goal. Well wide for a goal kick, and that will allow Lucas Cross to check into the game. Cross will be checking in for his older brother, Nick, just like we saw in the first half. Jonathan Schreiner moving to the right side. Lucas Cross taking his position as the striker. Greaves continuing to stay with it. Playing it out wide to Jazino Agaro. Agaro taking it down towards the end line, looking to service the ball in. Now getting to do so, cutting back on his right foot. Fode's header falling into the hands of Matone. That was the chance to equalize for the Bison, and Sylvanus Fode just not getting enough there on the header. Schreiner, long through ball forward as Lucas Cross on the receiving end. Cafferata keeping him away. Nacho Cafferata finding Jaziba James. Weaves his way between a pair of Barons. Agaro finding Puebla. Launching it forward towards Sylvanus Fode. Fode in the penalty area, left-footed shot blocked. Falling right back to Fode, taking it towards the end line, running out of room, but not before Sylvanus Fode wins a free kick for the Bison, their fourth of the night, first of the second half. You can tell Bethany feeding off of the energy from the crowd. Playing much better here in the second half. Gianchetti's cross off the head of Christian, cleared away by the Barons. And referee Sam Reynolds stopping play to award Franciscan a free kick, citing that Christian apparently jumping into a member of the Barons as opposed to jumping straight up. Free kick taken by Nick Miller. Jaziba James going up for the header against Schreiner. Appeals for a foul from the Franciscan bench. That was Brent Rittenauer himself who wanted that free kick. And James again getting ahead to it. Franciscan works their way up the near touchline. Joseph St. George's throw again deflected away by Jaziba James. And now Franciscan in a position where they can utilize the long throw of Joseph St. George. Instead decides to play it short to Schreiner. James working against Joseph St. George. Able to play it forward, trying to find Agaro. And Ryan Miller keeping it in play. Salahovic pushing his side forward, looking to utilize a bit of a press. Agaro finding Greaves, now Arocane. Arocane trying to gain separation there from Rice. Appeals of handball from the Bison. Sam Reynolds says play on. Schreiner taking a touch inside. Trying to switch the field of play to the feet of Lucas Cross, but instead out for a Bison throw. Rather, that was Mikey Irvin on the left side. Franciscan has another substitute ready to check in the game, that being Zachary Muldoon. Saw him in the first half as a sub for Franciscan, picking up a yellow card. The Barons drive forward once again. Schreiner inside the penalty area. Thought he had danced his way around Jaziba James. And James now in possession, driving forward. The intensity from both sides really picking up here in the second half. Augustine Rubino thought he had won the throw for Franciscan, but instead falling to Jiziba James. Almost 19 minutes gone here in the second half. Schreiner flicking that one to Ryan Miller. Arrocane up with the header. And now Bethany looking to build from the back. Cafferata trying to find James. Pass intercepted there by Schreiner. Schreiner not on the same page with Rubino. Throw from James, falling to Ogaro. Can't keep it inside the line, and now Muldoon will check in favor of Colby Rice. James up with the header once again, but it falls to the feet of Muldoon. Muldoon trying to switch the field of play to Schreiner. Now Fausto Gianchetti thought he had something going driving forward, but cycles back and then plays one into Arrocane, firing towards goal. Just wide of the post and out for a goal kick. Another strong chance there for the Bison. Couldn't necessarily capitalize on. Greaves getting a little bit physical there in the midfield, but nothing outside of the laws of the game. Gianchetti trying to find Ogaro, but ultimately a bit too strong there on that pass. Bethany looking to work the ball around. Christian turning it over, and Lucas Cross in on goal, and Salahovic with a huge save, denying Lucas Cross from point blank range, keeping this one within reach for the Bison. Gianchetti trying to strip Ryan Miller from possession. Schreiner playing that one forward, and Sheldon Christian going to see that one out of play, working against Lucas Cross, and signaling that that ball deflected off of Christian was referee Sam Reynolds. And now gives Franciscan their 7th corner of the contest. Corner kick taken by Miller, deflecting off of Ogaro. Kept in play there by Muldoon. Miller delivering it into the near post, and Salahovic climbs the ladder and claims that one with ease. And now Salahovic sending that one long rather quickly. Sylvanus Fode applying some pressure, and in the blink of an eye, go from one end of the field to the other. Now Ogaro just going to leave the throw there for James. James with a long throw himself. Looking to keep it in play as Puebla feeding it back to Ogaro. His shot deflected. Falling to Gianchetti. Volleyed effort there. Well over the bar and out for a goal kick. Both teams making a substitution of their own. Nick Cross checking back in for Franciscan. He will enter in place of Mikey Irvin. As for the Bison, it'll be Pedro Chilemi checking in for Nathan Greaves. Lopez Ogawa getting a touch there, deflecting it out for a Franciscan throw on the far side. Muldoon contesting it there with Chilemi fresh off the bench. Throw in again, finding the feet of Zachary Muldoon, freshman out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Brilliant ball there with the outside of the right foot from Sebastian Arrocane. Ogaro driving his way forward, trying to weave between a pair of Barons. And now it's Franciscan quickly looking to move their way forward. And now Arcane guilty of a foul at midfield. And now Sam Reynolds going to stop play to have a conversation with Sebastian Arcane. Just over 21 minutes to go in the game. Can tell the Franciscan bench certainly wanting a card to be given there, but Sam Reynolds keeping them in his pockets. So now Nick Miller, another chance to deliver a set piece. Miller launching this one as far as he can off the foot. Deflection there, falling into the hands of Salahovic. Punt brilliantly finds Lucas Puebla. Puebla with the little deflection there off of Rubino, getting it right back. Fode looking for an option. Sylvanas Fode driving inside, finding Puebla. Ball falls to Arcane. Gianchetti's effort just over the crossbar and out for a goal kick. Testing Matone there as he had to jump with everything he had, and that one still not enough dip to fall between the white frame. Get this sense that Bethany's starting to feel potential equalizer coming. Sheldon Christian wins a throw on the far side. And now Sam Reynolds going to stop play as a result of Christian being slow to get back to his feet. Just wanting to take a second here and check on Sheldon Christian, make sure he's good to remain in the game. Appears as if he will be good to go. As Franciscan gets set to make another sub. It'll be Isaac Doyle checking back in. We saw Doyle in the first half as a part of the back line for Franciscan. Looking for their second goal of the game. Schreiner feeding that one inside to the feet of Rubino. Trying to dance his way around Cafferata. Then a little miscommunication there between Arcane and Ogaro. Sees it out for a Franciscan throw. Doyle checking in for Chris St. George, the exact substitution we saw in the first half. Joseph St. George feeding that one into Schreiner. St. George, his cross in towards the penalty area. Muldoon, his shot blocked there by Nacho Cafferata from about 12 yards out. Agaro trying to feed it into Gianchetti. Sam Reynolds originally signaling advantage, but then quickly bringing it back for the free kick. The Bison take it rather quickly. Gianchetti trying to play the ball forward. Ends up falling to the feet of Doyle. Bison still pushing forward. Arcane getting ahead to it. James able to keep it in play on the near side. Mikey Irvin gets set to re-enter for Franciscan. Christian playing the ball to Lopez Ogawa. Brilliant turn there from Fausto Gianchetti, whose effort from range well over the bar and out for a goal kick. So the Bison continue to generate chances. Not a lot, though, testing Jax Matone as Irvin checks in for Jonathan Schreiner. Possession finally corralled now by Franciscan as Rubino Tried to play it forward to Joseph St. George. Agaro able to snuff that one out. Chilemi keeping it in play. Found Lopez Ogawa. Bethany starting to connect more and more passes together. Agaro in a little bit of a situation there, able to find Jaziba James. Drives forward, deflection off of Nick Miller. And now Jaziba James guilty of a foul there on Joseph St. George. In the midfield, James in complete disbelief. There's a little conversation with Sam Reynolds as to why that one was in fact ruled a foul. Just under 17 minutes remaining here in this contest. Bison still trailing by 1. Ryan Miller has possession stripped away by Fausto Gianchetti. Finds the feet of Puebla. Bethany not necessarily rushing yet in terms of trying to create chances, but moving once again with a little bit of urgency. Lopez Ogawa combining with Chilemi. Pedro Chilemi again. Muldoon now in possession for the Barons. Muldoon's pass well off the mark, so it falls right back to Cafarata, and the Bison go again. Puebla holding it up, trying to find Chilemi. His pass off the mark. And now Franciscan. Plenty of space in front of them. Chris St. George gets set to re-enter for Franciscan the next time he can. And Lopez Ogawa wins a free kick in the midfield third. You would imagine Chris St. George would be checking back in for Isaac Doyle. It was Doyle who took out Chris St. George. And now Salahovic pushing his side as far forward as they can get. Free kick taken from Salahovic over the head of James, but the deflection falls right to Sebastian Arocane. Agaro's cross in towards the back post. Touch on it there was Rubino. Lopez Ogawa keeping it with the Bison. Cross there from Chilemi, finding Fode at the back post, flicked on by Puebla, and Lucas Puebla hits the back of the net. 14:37 to go in the contest, and we are tied at 1 apiece here in the rematch of the 2021 title game. You knew it was going to be entertaining and filled with action, and Lucas Puebla doing exactly that as he scores his 5th goal of the season. Lucas Puebla continuing to establish himself as the leading goal scorer for the Bison. And now a conversation on the near side between Sam Reynolds along with John Groff. So we do in fact see Isaac Doyle check out in favor of Chris St. George, and Zachary Muldoon out of the game for Franciscan as well. We're right back where we were when the game started. These teams unable to be separated thanks to the goal of Lucas Puebla. And now the Bison able to win a foul in their defensive third. And now the tensions really starting to rise. And now Sam Reynolds having to stop play to converse with both teams. And now Fausto Gianchetti shown a yellow card. and then also one to Franciscan as a result of that little dust up there well after the play. Augustine Rubino, I believe, just picked up that recent yellow card. Coach Ridenour getting set to bring Jonathan Schreiner back into the game. Salahovic getting play restarted with the free kick in towards the penalty area. Brought down comfortably there by Lopez Ogawa. Looking to send across inside. Deflects out of play. The Bison win the corner. Corner kick number 5 coming up for the green and white. And the crowd continuing to get more and more into it by the second. Gianchetti whipping the ball in towards the penalty spot. Christian with a touch on it. Salahovic well out of the goal. He's clearing that one to danger. Franciscan wanting to take the free kick quickly, but with Jonathan Schreiner standing in midfield, Sam Reynolds going to grant the substitution. So that will allow Bethany in a way to be given a gift as Schreiner checks in for Nick Cross. Joseph St. George throw in, flicked on by Schreiner. Puebla holding the ball up there against Ryan Miller. Through ball towards the far corner flag, aimed for Chilemi. And now Chris St. George just going to send that one out of play. Effort there from Lucas Puebla over the crossbar and out for a goal kick. Now with the game level at 1 apiece, Franciscan choosing to rely on the leg of Nick Miller to just simply launch their goal kicks as far forward as possible. Salahovic once again, I mentioned it from time to time, almost running himself into a little bit of danger there as he tried to draw some pressure from Franciscan, able to pounce on the ball at the very last second. Sylvanus Fode dancing his way inside towards the penalty area, trying to feed it back to Gianchetti, deflected there by Colby Rice, out for a Bison throw. Under 11 and a half minutes to play here. Throw in from James. Flicked on there by Puebla. Cleared away by Nick Miller. James trying to use his body in every way he can, doing just enough to keep possession with the Bison. James's throw into the feet of Fode. Touch on there by Joseph St. George. Arocane flicking it back inside. Puebla in possession. Little back heel flick to Sylvanus Fode. And now Sam Reynolds ruling that Fode controlled the ball with his arm. Goes down as a handball there. And Franciscan now dodging a little bit of a bullet. The momentum continues to swing here. Was all Franciscan for much of the first half. The Bison have responded here in the second half. Sheldon Christian not wanting to take any chances, sending that one out for a throw on the near side. Sebastian Arocane crimping after 80 minutes as a result of the stoppage in play. It'll be Salvador Isler who gets set to re-enter for the Bison. It was Isler who started the game for Bethany, one of the 4 in the diamond. It appears as if for next few moments, rather it appeared as if Arcane was going to stay in the game at least for a few moments, but then instead makes his way to the bench in place of Isler. Joseph St. George finding the feet there of Schreiner on the near side, deflecting it off of Jaziba James and out for yet another Franciscan corner. Tensions continuing to stay high. Both sides now searching for a game winner. Miller's corner kick in towards the back post, deflecting there off of Gianchetti. And now Fode using his speed, trying to drive forward. Was Chris St. George who got enough of a touch there to contain Fode. Puebla driving forward in possession, trying to find Pedro Chilemi. And very quickly the Bison with a corner of their own. Bethany still trailing in that regard, 8-6. But now an opportunity for Fausto Gianchetti to put one on a silver platter off the head there of Salvador Isler, who is very much frustrated as a result of that one sailing over the bar. It goes out for a goal kick. Reach the point in the game where situations like a goal kick just taken by Nick Miller, both sides really wanting to slow it down, not necessarily force any sort of potential error. Franciscan picks up another corner, quickly transitioning from the defensive third to the attacking third. Was Mikey Irvin who ultimately won the corner for the Barons. Service in from Nick Miller, deflecting off of Isler. Salahovic thought he could have possibly kept it in play, but ends up carrying over the end line. And now Franciscan in double digits in terms of corner kick opportunities. Service again in from Miller. Over the crossbar and out for a goal kick despite some pleas there for Franciscan, and Nacho Cafferata down for the Bison. Possible contact to the head there. He's back up on his feet. We'll now have a quick word with Tyler Hyatt. Cafferata being pulled off to the side quickly. Rather surprising that the Bison are, at least temporarily, so we thought, were choosing to play down, but as a result, Bethany will be going to the bench. It'll be Santi Bruni checking in favor of Cafferata, or at the very least getting ready as play resumes. The Bison one short for the time being, so an adjustment that'll need to be made in terms of defensive organization. Cafferata back on the field of play. So that opportunity for Franciscan with the man advantage very much short-lived. Bruni continues to get ready. Sam Reynolds ruling an advantage there off of the handball from Gianchetti. Rice finding the feet of Schreiner. Jonathan Schreiner driving inside. James getting enough of the ball there for Sam Reynolds' liking. Able to apply some pressure on Ryan Miller. It appears as if for now, Santi Bruni will not be needed for the Bison, but instead it'll be Nathan Greaves set to check back in at the next opportunity. Franciscan now driving forward. Tremendous challenge there from Lopez Ogawa. Gifting possession back to the Bison, and now Lopez Ogawa driving forward himself, trying to send one into the penalty area. Nick Miller heading it away. Pedro Chilemi looking for an opportunity to fire a shot towards goal, ultimately blocked. It's just over 5 minutes to play. Sheldon Christian sending that one as far away from danger as possible. Franciscan switching it over to the near side. Joseph St. George playing it back to the far side, and the flag comes up on the near side. And the Bison opting to make not one, but two substitutions when they can, as Pablo Aguilera will check in when he can as well. Cramps now for Fausto Gianchetti along with Jazino Agaro. 4:47 remaining. Agaro not necessarily stretching out as much as Gianchetti was. Now a chance for Bethany to go deeper into the bench. Salahovic will get play resumed here with the free kick, as the two subs for Bethany quickly become three, set to check in, the other one being Santi Clancy. And now Deshaun Thomas. At the very least, he thought he was getting set to check in, but forgot the penny that he needs to enter the game. Fausto Gianchetti checking out for the Bison along with Jazino Agaro, Pedro Chilemi. At least for now, just the three substitutions for the Bison. Lopez Ogawa getting play resumed. Clock continues to wind down, just 4 minutes remaining after 86 have been played. Jiziba James driving forward. And now Franciscan quickly looking to play the ball forward, as it was Lucas Cross finding the feet of Schreiner, and Jonathan Schreiner flagged for offside here on the near side. A break there for the Bison. The Bison bench apparently content with how things are in terms of personnel, so Deshaun Thomas will not in fact be coming in, at least as of right now. Isler deflecting that one off of Lucas Cross. Thought he had won a handball. Now Isler's pass brought down by Santi Clancy. Lopez Ogawa finding Clancy. Clancy wins a throw on the far side. Under 3 to play at this point. Graves in possession. Graves cross into the penalty area, flicked on by Puebla. Sylvanas Fode firing towards goal. Matone with the save. Clancy putback attempt, cleared off the goal line. A second chance in which Bethany has had their effort, cleared off of the goal line. One here in the second half. There was one back in the first half. And Jax Matone is thanking his lucky stars. One of his defensemen was there, able to clear that one away. Otherwise, Sylvanas Fode would have had himself a potential game winner. Schreiner ended up running out of room on the near side. Franciscan wanting a free kick there, showing that his jersey was in fact pulled, and now Augustine Rubino trying to bring down the ball, guilty of a handball. And now Sam Reynolds going to the pocket to show Salvador Isler the yellow card for bringing down Augustine Rubino late. And again, that'll certainly frustrate the Bison coaching staff. Of course, the only possible justification there would have been is that Isler maybe didn't hear the whistle, but regardless, it's still yellow card worthy, and if the whistle hadn't blown, could have been the potential for worse, as Rubino would have been in on goal. Fode applying some pressure there on Nick Miller, taking absolutely no chances. As the clock continues to wind down, 90 seconds to go. Aguilera's throw deflecting off of Joseph St. George. Corner kick number 7 coming up for the Bison. Fausto Gianchetti not on the field to take this corner kick, unlike the previous 6 that the Bison have had. Whipped in towards the penalty area, off the head there of Sylvanas Fode, who is in disbelief that he put it wide of the post. And now the seconds continue to wind down off the clock. Coach Riddenauer urging Franciscan forward, the Bison being pushed back, not wanting to concede anything remotely close to a strong chance here in the final seconds. Greaves contesting with Schreiner, playing it forward to the feet of Mikey Irvin. Sheldon Christian coming to the rescue there, sending that out for a throw. Down to 20 seconds now, and Sam Reynolds quickly blowing the play dead as a result of Chris St. George a bit too far forward. That'll take some more time off the clock. A strong challenge in there from Salvador Isler. James getting a touch, and that is how things will end here at Don Alt Field at Bison Stadium. The two teams that saw themselves in the championship game just under a year ago could not see themselves be separated, both sides with a goal apiece. And that's how things end here after 90 minutes of play. Your final score, Bethany 1, Franciscan 1. As we get set to wrap this one up here for you on the PAC Digital Network. It was Franciscan who saw themselves out in front late in the first half. Nick Miller getting himself his goal of the game, his 4th of the season that being, as a result of the free kick in which Salahovic didn't necessarily have the greatest vision. And then in the second half, Lucas Puebla finding the back of the net off of a header. And as a result, the points are shared. Things escalating a little bit here out on the field. Lucas Puebla very much frustrated and unhappy about something. Not exactly sure what that's about, but certainly something to keep an eye on here as teams continue to shake hands. Once again, your final score, Bethany 1, Franciscan 1. Bethany Its record now going to 5-3-3, including 1-0-2 in conference play. As for Franciscan, their overall record now 6-2-3, including 1-1-1 in conference play. Upcoming games for Franciscan, they hit the road Wednesday, October 5th at 5 o'clock when they head to Westminster, and then on October 8th hosting W&J for a 3:30 kickoff. As for Bethany, they hit the road October 5th, Wednesday night in Pittsburgh, taking on Chatham, and then on October 8th heading up to St. Vincent for a 3 o'clock kickoff. So for Franciscan, one more road match before heading back home. Bethany, the next two being on the road. That'll conclude our pregame and postgame coverage here tonight. As you've been watching men's soccer action here on the PAC Digital Network. Once again, your final score, Bethany 1, Franciscan 1. Drew Von Sayo signing off. Be sure to tune in tomorrow afternoon for the Bethany homecoming football game. Kickoff begins at 4:30 right here on the PAC Digital Network. Enjoy the rest of your night, everybody.